Reflections on the Good News of Jesus Christ from the Gospel according to John for Sunday, the fifth Sunday of Easter. Jesus said to his disciples, "Do not let your hearts be troubled. You have faith in God, have faith also in me. In my Father's house there are many dwelling places. If there were not, would I have told you that I am going to prepare a place for you? And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back again and take you to myself, so that where I am, you also may be. Where I am going, you know the way." Thomas said to him, "Master, we do not know where you are going. How can we know the way?" Jesus said to him, "I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you know me, then you will also know my Father. From now on, you do know him and have seen him." Philip said to him, "Master, show us the Father, and that will be enough for us." Jesus said to him, "Have I been with you for so long a time, and still you do not know me, Philip? Whoever has seen me has seen the Father. How can you say, 'Show us the Father'? Do you not believe that I am in the Father, and the Father is in me? The words that I speak to you, I do not speak on my own. The Father who dwells in me is doing his works. Believe me that I am in the Father, and the Father is in me, or else believe because of the works themselves. I tell you truly, whoever believes in me will do the works that I do, and will do greater ones than these, because I am going to the Father." The Gospel of the Lord. Jesus is gathered with his disciples and closest friends at a meal that would become known as the supper. The signs had been there all along, but it was now clear to Jesus that he would soon be going to his death. He has much yet to tell them, but, as usual, the disciples are listening without really understanding. But one thing had gotten through. He was going away, and they could not follow him. Jesus was about to leave them after all they had gone through together. It is no wonder that their hearts are troubled. This, in spite of the promise that Jesus is going away to prepare a place for them, that he will return to take them with him, so that where I am, you also may be. He is the way, yes, but where does the way go? To follow the way of Jesus is not to go anywhere. It is to become a special kind of person, a person whose whole being reflects the truth and life that Jesus reveals to us. It is to be a person who is totally identified with the vision and the values of Jesus. To be such a person is to be a person of truth and life. Reflecting on this gospel reminded me of a story I had read years ago, appropriate as we enter graduation season. One of the commencement traditions at my university is senior class chapel. On the morning of their graduation, seniors gather in Memorial Church to hear the minister offer words of solace and encouragement as they leave the yard to take their places in the worship. Some years ago, the senior class heard the unvarnished truth from the Reverend Peter Gomes, minister at Harvard and the author of several books on the Bible. In his gentle, ringing tones that call to mind a cross between a Shakespearean actor and the TV sitcom character Frasier, the inimitable Dr. Gomes took no prisoners as he began. You are going to be sent out of here for good, and most of you aren't ready to go. The president is about to bid you into the fellowship of educated men and women, and here he paused and spoke each word slowly for emphasis. You know just how dumb you really are. Well, the senior class cheered in agreement. And worse than that, Dr. Gomes continued, the world, and your parents in particular, are going to expect that you will be among the brightest and best. But you know that you can no longer fool all the people, even some of the time. By noontime today, you will be out of here. By tomorrow, you will be history. By Saturday, you will be toast. That's a fact. No exceptions, no extensions. Nevertheless, there is reason to hope, Dr. Gomes promised. He went on, the future is God's gift to you. God will not let you stumble or fall. God has not brought you this far to this place to abandon you or leave you here alone and afraid. The God of Israel never stumbles, never sleeps, never goes on sabbatical. Thus, my beloved and bewildered young friends, do not be afraid. What Dr. Gomes did for the senior class at Harvard, Jesus does for his disciples and friends. He knew their hearts were troubled. He knew they were afraid of whatever the future held, especially if they had to face it alone, especially if they had to face it without Jesus. And so he is pleading with them not to be afraid, promising that they would not be alone. They trust in God. They must also trust in him. In fact, as great as the works he had done, they would do works that are even greater. My brothers and sisters, Jesus is not talking just to those gathered at table with him in that upper room. He's also talking to us, all of us who are his disciples, wherever we may be. We can do more than Jesus, not in terms of more spectacular signs, but because Jesus, in his humanity here on earth, was limited to a very small number of people and a very small place. In his lifetime, he reached only a relatively small number of people. In fact, when he died, all he could show for all his preaching and miracles was a handful of followers at the foot of the cross. Peter and the rest were nowhere to be seen. Strangely, it was only by his leaving us that the energy and life he brought was released. By his going, he set in motion a process by which his message, his way of truth and life, could reach every corner of the world. There are now very few places where Jesus' message has not been heard. Moreover, the Pope or some other religious leader hooked up to satellites can simultaneously reach billions of people. Jesus, in his lifetime, could not do that. But whether we are Pope, bishop, priest, office worker, truck driver, housewife, or whatever, our duty is the same: to lead the people with whom we come in contact along the way of Jesus, the way of truth and life. By working together, we can do what Jesus did, or rather, he does it through us. The gospel still needs to be preached, and that means lived with greater enthusiasm, with greater relevance, with greater integrity. As in Jesus's day, the masses are still calling out to be fed, and we, the friends and companions of Jesus, have been called to continue to bring the bread of life to the world. Jesus said, "Without me, you can do nothing." It is important for us to realize that the opposite is also largely true. Without us, Jesus can do very little. This poem and prayer attributed to St. Teresa of Avila might help us reflect on this great truth. Christ has no body but yours, no hands, no feet on earth but yours. Yours are the eyes with which he looks with compassion on this world. Yours are the feet with which he walks to do good. Yours are the hands with which he blesses all the world. Yours are the hands, yours are the feet, yours are the eyes, you are his body. Christ has no body now but yours, no hands, no feet on earth but yours. Yours are the eyes with which he looks with compassion on this world. Christ has no body now on earth but yours. And as another writer has put it, God is not only closer to me than I am to myself, God is one with me and with you. Brothers and sisters, Jesus does not explain God. He only asks us to trust it and trust him. Thanks for listening.